Randall Fleming has spent more than 3 decades as a publisher of fanzines, chapbooks, poetry broadcasts, and a newspaper. He's a wide ranging writer whose work has been in hundreds of magazines, newspapers, and books. Is a former book editor and cover designer, and is a photographer whose earliest works include Primavera de Grown, 1980s era Sublime at house parties, and Offspring when they played hotels in Anaheim in the early 1980s. Let's welcome Randall Fleming.
Thank you all so much. I'm not going to say the name out because we have children here, but the book that I have at present is called F Your Flag. And this book is one that I have been photographing for the last 6 years, traveling across the country, photographing desecrated American flags that promote political violence. Now, as a vexillologist, I study the symbolism of flags, so I explain what these flags mean. And for two reasons. The people who fly these flags can't say that they don't know what they mean with this book out here. And the people who see these flags, now you will be able to know what these flags mean. Unfortunately, there are a lot of terrible topics. White supremacy, white Christian nationalism. Some of these flags even signal domestic terrorism. So I am going to read a little bit from the white Christian nationalist chapter, because I feel that that right now is a very big problem, especially with the Secretary of Defense, who himself has a desecrated flag on his bicep. It's very similar to this black flag that I have here with the rifles on it that are used in lieu. What's that? There's small black flag right here with the rifles in lieu of stripes. It's a black and white flag. It's very similar to the tattoo he has on his bicep. So anyhow, I open with an epilogue by Reverend Gerald L.K. Smith, who's a Christian Nationalist Party founder and himself somewhat of a Nazi back in the day. And the quote that I have for him that I feel defines white Christian nationalism and these flags is, "I'll teach them how to hate." There's a great and growing number of flags promoting white Christian nationalism. Many of them desecrate the U.S. flag, and some are clever in how they hide the desecration and sometimes the desecratory symbols that promote political violence. Most flags flown by Christian nationalists have crosses somewhere on the flag. Some exhibit desecration by the arrangement. They put the Christian flag over the American flag. Or, as you can see with some of these, they'll actually put Christian iconography on the American flag. Still others may initially be difficult to determine owing to the lousy, overwrought design. Understanding the inherently violent nature of Christian nationalism is key to understanding the symbols on the flags they and their sympathizers fly. According to an oft-cited expert, Amanda Tyler, quote, "Christian nationalism is a political ideology and cultural framework that merges Christian and American identities, distorting both the Christian faith and America's promise of religious freedom, and which relies heavily on a false narrative of America as a Christian nation." Basically, Christian nationalists tend to be a lot less Christian and a lot more cultural warrior, fighting to redefine American exclusively as white. All right, and I'm going to put up, I'll show you a few of the flags that I have on the larger pictures. This is called essentially a 2A flag, Second Amendment. As you can see, pistols for the stars in the canton, and rifles as the stripes. And there are many variations of this particular flag. There is also the 3%er flag, which I mentioned. This is a distinct domestic terrorist flag. Even the FBI has identified this group as that. And yet you can see what they do with this Betsy Ross flag. The 3 in the center identifies that as a 3%. So anyhow, I want to thank all of you for listening. I'm sorry?
3% what? 3%.
3%ers. They're an American domestic terror group, and they were part of the insurrection. So if you see that 3 inside that canton, or you see a sticker with that on the American flag, that is a 3%er, somebody who at least sympathizes with them if they're not a part of it. So I would put it on a par with the KKK. So absolutely. Anyhow, does anybody have any questions? I think I have about a minute left. I know it's a very, very political topic, but I felt that somebody had to document these flags and explain them. And yes, ma'am.
So do they don't have to get an approval from the government or something?
No, ma'am. In fact, all these flags are made in China, and they arrive without they do not have tariffs on them. And I have a whole chapter on what that means because they are coming in from different lands. In fact, they don't have tariffs. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's these flag designated flag. It's on the radar of political legislation to kind of limit the kind of
not to my knowledge. And that's not part. I mean, I'm not trying to get them outlawed because it is a First Amendment right. But at the same time, it should be, and that's part of why I'm putting this book out here. I want people to understand the serious threat that these signal by the people who fly. Yes, sir. I have it on my website. I have it in a few stores, and I'm getting it more. I have PM Press as a distributor. It's a little difficult to get out there. People they shy away a little bit, but I feel that's the whole reason we need to talk more about this. So.
All right, thank you so much for sharing with us today. We definitely appreciate you being here with us today. Let's give it up for everyone.
I have a few copies for sale if anybody wants some.
All righty, thank you so much. So we're